A territory-wide lockdown is now underway in Nunavut following an alarming surge in COVID-19 cases. Schools, non-essential businesses, and government offices will be closed for the next 2 weeks. Officials are also advising against traveling outside the home. Nunavut reported its first ever case earlier this month, but there are now 60 confirmed infections. The vast majority of them are linked to an outbreak in the fly-in community of Arviat. Well, Joe Savikataaq is the mayor of Arviat in Nunavut, and we've reached him there. Mayor, thank you so much for your time. This is obviously a difficult time for your community. Let's talk about how people are feeling in the community right now.
Thank you very much for your time, too, for letting me go on here. Right now, there's an outbreak going on here in our hamlet of Arviat. Cases are rising, but we've been telling people not to concentrate on the number of cases, just protect themselves and help not spread the virus.
Still, though, if you have that many cases, around 46 in a community of what, about 2,600? How big a concern is that with that many people in that small a community, this can really spread?
Yes, it's definitely a concern due to all the overcrowded housings here in the Arctic, and especially here in Arviat, where we come from. There's multiple people living in single dwellings, which are very close quarters. It's going to be quite a challenge for us in the next few days and weeks, and hopefully we will prevail and we'll get through this.
Can you describe, say, how many people might be living in what size of a space? Are there families of 8 or 10, or just how tightly packed are people?
Some houses are very crowded. There could be as many as 15 in one unit. So that's a lot of people in one unit, so we really have to watch what we do to protect ourselves. And
that's within a unit, so could there be how many, for example, sleeping in one room?
Yes, there could be quite a few people in one room. They have no choice, nowhere to go, so they end up sleeping in the same room, whether they like it or not.
So, Mayor, let's talk about how prepared you are in terms of health facilities there.
Right now, we've been lucky that this virus has not been in our territory for several months, and that has given us time to prepare in case it came. We were always expecting this day to come, and especially with the cases in Winnipeg rising, it was inevitable that it would eventually make its way here. It's here now, and the government of Nunavut had a rapid response team on standby, which they were deployed immediately when there was a case here in Arviat. So we are prepared as much as we could be with masks, hand sanitizers, and social distancing, everything, and everyone's working together. And it's a giant team right now that's working together.
When news of the pandemic broke, northern communities, isolated communities, were some of the first where people really sounded the potential concern because, as you've described, the living conditions and the isolated nature. But there were measures to prevent it from getting in. What does it tell you that after all this time and all these measures, it still got into your community?
Yes, that's true. Nothing is 100% certain on anything and everything. There's always something's bound to happen. So this was another case of that. Since the pandemic started, all residents that were going south for medical reasons could not just come back at their choice. They had to do a mandatory 14-day isolation in a specified hotel in Winnipeg for our people. That's our connection there, and that helped for several months there, but it somehow leaked its way into Nunavut and our community. But at this time, that doesn't matter. Right now, our focus is to try and mitigate and slow down the transmission.
So, Mayor, what is your life like? What the last few days? What have you been tasked to do, and what are your responsibilities going forward?
Well, it's been very busy. We have been very busy having multiple conference calls with various stakeholders in the government of Nunavut. My councilors that we meet, emergency meetings that we've been having, and so people calling me because I'm local here where I am and very approachable to people, connected on phone and our local citizen band radio. So I keep getting phone calls from everyone on what if, or what can I do, and all that. It's just nonstop right now.
I imagine a community that small, absolutely everybody knows you probably by first name. What are your people telling you? What are they worried about?
Well, some people are worried, but I'm trying to keep them. Everyone's trying to keep them calm. Now is not the time to panic. Also, it makes me very humble that a lot of people are calling and saying that we're doing a good job. Everyone's doing a good job, so that's very humbling and very touching.
As their leader, though, I have to ask you, Mayor, what are you most worried about?
Right now, I'm worried about everyone. Elders, especially. We have Elder Center here locally, and that has been off limits to the public. There's absolutely no visiting there. But I'm worried right now on everyone, treating everyone the same, and hopefully we will get through this. And we all got into this together, and we're getting out of this together.
Mayor, I'll let you get back to those phone calls that you've been getting, because I'm sure you got a lot more just while you've been talking to us. But thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And best of luck to you and to your community.
Thank you very much for your time, and appreciate that. Thank you.